We're getting straight up to Hong Kong. Tom Wood, sorry for being late for you, Tom, hanging on the line there. Very good afternoon.
Afternoon, lads.
Great to be chatting with you. How are the conditions up there ahead of Sunday's Sha Tin meeting?
Yeah, we actually had some nice cool weather, so the weather has changed. It was down to around about 16, 17 degrees a couple of days ago. Still fairly pleasant, but a good sign that the weather has turned, and we've got 10 excellent races coming up out at Sha Tin over the weekend Sunday for an all-turf program out there.
Tom, I asked this question of Jay Rooney on Wednesday night as well. My Wish, the horse who won the Group 2 Sha Tin Trophy last Sunday for Alex Bedell, just looks to be a horse who's really starting to develop and, you know, can he be a Group 1 star in the future?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think he can be a Group 1 star this season, Marty. He's taken all before him, this horse. He's been perfectly handled by Mark Newnham. Unfortunately, he didn't get the weight last weekend with Voyage Bubble in the race handicap conditions for Luke to be able to ride him. Luke Ferraris, I speak of there, but he's not a big horse by any stretch. Mark's been able to build him up to around about £1,000 here in Hong Kong. He's always been a horse that sort of flirted with the high 900s in terms of body weight as well, but what he lacks for in size, he's got all that in heart, because he's got a great turn of foot, a real winning attitude, and he'll be a horse that will certainly enjoy the set weights and penalties conditions when it comes to the Jockey Club Mile coming up towards the back end of November, and that's the main target, the Jockey Club Mile into the International Mile come December.
8 minutes until Moonee Valley race number 5 punters. Get your bets on there. Just before we touch on your selections for Sunday at Sha Tin, Tom, what did you make of the domination of Ka-Ying Rising last Saturday?
Yeah, it was just too good in the end. He was throttled down by Zach Purton over the final stages, and just got him into the perfect spot. I was watching it on a small screen at a cafe on my phone, and I was sitting there, and as soon as I turned the feed on and I could see that he was the first shot I got of him was walking around down in the Paris Parade. So I knew he was on there because he was so relaxed. He was a different horse to what turned up to Randwick in the trial, and he just dominated. Since David Hayes left some condition on him, they thought he'd probably lose a little bit more weight going down to Canterbury there into the quarantine on the flight, but he didn't. He really thrived in quarantine, and kudos to David Hayes for getting him absolutely cherry ripe. We might not have seen him at his absolute best. He's put up better figures than he has, of course, at the weekend, but that length at a quarter win in the Everest, I think probably if that same field turned up at Sha Tin in those same sort of conditions, that length at a quarter win probably was closer to maybe 3 lengths here in Hong Kong. He's back here already. He arrived early hours of Tuesday morning, and providing everything goes okay, we'll see him at the end of next month in the Jockey Club Sprint. Again, set weights and penalties, so he'll carry 128 pounds, and then he'll be set for HKIR, the sprint there.
Yep. And you were supremely confident all the way through, so I hope you got some of that $2.05 that the Australian bookmakers put up. Hey?
Unfortunately not, but the World Pool punters were more than happy to get stuck into $1.40 in the end.
Were they ever? One thing I've taken out of this now, because I didn't fall for it the first time. I stuck with Romantic Warrior, but I fell for it this time, is I think these horses, when they come from Hong Kong, you've got to give them one, and then that gets them cherry ripe for the big one. Remember Romantic Warrior before his run in the Turnbull wasn't a great run, and the doubters jumped out of trees to pot him.
And it did surprise me a little bit over the weekend of how many people in the media, so to speak, were against him, because there was nothing wrong with the trial. I don't know what they wanted to do. Did they want him to turn up and win by 6 in the trial? And you mentioned Marty Romantic Warrior. Well, he was okay in the Turnbull without getting away, but he'd gone into that completely first up in Australia without that barrier trial. And so I remember there were plenty of keyboard warriors and Twitterati ready to pot Romantic Warrior after that. But when you were able to get $5, $6, $7 with some of the bookies after the Turnbull, I think a few people had the last laugh.
They certainly did. So we've got 4 minutes to Moonee Valley. Let's get your best bets.
Yeah, Best Bet's good meeting at this weekend at Sha Tin. Group 2 action once again. Best Bet comes up in race 4, number 5, Pearl of Pangs. Seems to find a bit of trouble in the run and a wide passage, but he should get a good run from the draw this week. He deserves a winning turn. He's race 4, number 5, Pearl of Pangs. Manfred Mann trains, Derek Long rides. Next best is race 3, number 5, Jubilant Stars. Only had one start for David Hall. Hugh Bowman was aboard in that one start, and Zach Purton jumps aboard on Sunday afternoon, and he's race 3, number 5, Jubilant Star. And in the Group 2 race, the Premier Bowl for the sprinters here over 1,200 metres, handicap conditions, I like one down towards the bottom. He's not won for a while. It's Mugen, race 8, number 12, with the pace on. He's got a lightweight on his back. He's got blinkers going on for the first time. He's trialled extremely well with those blinkers on. He comes out of a good trial as well. Thought he could be some value. He might be a bit closer in the run. He's got a good turn of foot, this horse. They took him over to Japan. Wasn't suited by going over there last season. It's taken him a while to come back, but with those blinkers on, he's been trialling well. So he should be a genuine each-way price. Race 8, number 12, Mugen.
Okay, all races, Whirlpool, Cox Plate Day at Moonee Valley.
Yep, tomorrow, so all of the races are covered there for the World Pool, so it'll be an early start for Whirlpool punters here in Hong Kong, but as the day goes on, those pools will grow substantially. Just maybe a few of the earlier races might be a little lighter, but just with the time difference between Hong Kong and Melbourne, 3 hours, so they'll build through the course of the afternoon, so we can't wait for that. Hugh Bowman down there riding as well for Chris Waller with Aliana, and spoke to him on Tuesday morning, and certainly a horse that Chris does hold in high regard, Hugh was telling us.
And Tom, before we let you go, what did you make of the back and forth between Maureen Haggis and also your star and Zach Purton?
Thought it was, probably a bit of a storm in a teacup. I'm not sure what angle Maureen was getting at, to be honest. Maybe a little unsavoury on all fronts, really.
Okay, you mentioned Hugh Bowman. I'll have a pot here. Did you see his ride on Quantum Patch, race 5, on Wednesday night at Happy Valley? Because he blew that race up to the Shizen and Mike Quinella.
Yeah, he's only a one-time winner, Quantum Patch. He's been a bit of a money muncher here in Hong Kong. He went for the doctor at the top of the straight, but obviously was run down by Super Unicorn there. But I think they were trying something different with that horse, because they've tried to come from behind with him, and he looms up and doesn't want to win. And again, he was there, and he's not on my Christmas card list anyway as Quantum Patch.
All right, and you got that race from Japan as well, the St Ledger on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the final leg of the Japanese Triple Crown coming up at the weekend. And, there's plenty of good Japanese Group 1 action over the next few weeks as we count down to the end of the calendar year. So plenty of good Japanese races to get stuck into as well. Okay,
Tom, we find all your good work, hkjc.com. Great to catch up. Enjoy the Group 2 on Sunday.
Thanks, Marty. Thanks, Steve.